Jerry Buell has been teaching at the Mount Dora High School in Florida for the past 22 years. He's never been in trouble before, but is now at the center of controversy after posting anti-gay comments on his Facebook page on the 25th of July. He has been temporarily removed from his teaching duties, and the story has sparked fierce debate online. There has been a great deal of online talk, and on Facebook in particular. A lot of web users are shocked by the severity of his punishment and are demanding Jerry Buell be reinstated to his job as soon as possible. But not everyone on the social network agrees, far from it. The people who have joined these pages want him fired. And yet, according to Buell's supporters, his suspension goes against the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, which protects freedom of speech. Many web users, like the person who made this video, feel the teacher hasn't committed any crime and should be allowed, just like any other US citizen, to express himself freely, and especially on his personal Facebook page. Jack Marshall completely disagrees, and on his blog Ethics Alarms he explains that even if theoretically the teacher has the right to make anti-gay comments, his remarks run counter to the neutral position he should, in the blogger's opinion, adopt as a teacher. He says Buell has seriously marred the trust-based relationship he should have with his pupils, and he shouldn't be allowed to teach anymore. This case has reignited debate in the US over teachers and social networking. A number of American states, like Missouri, want to monitor teachers' activity on social media platforms, and are even planning to ban any contact between teachers and students on social networks, and on Facebook in particular. A UN delegation arrived in Syria at the weekend to assess humanitarian needs and visited Homs on Monday. Opponents of Bashar al-Assad were there to greet the mission for this much-awaited visit. But the situation degenerated and security forces used violence against the protesters. Despite the ongoing repression across the country, thousands of residents gathered for the UN mission's visit to the western Syrian city to voice their despair and ask the international community to intervene to stop the regime's violent crackdown on protesters. As we can see in these amateur videos, as the UN mission arrived, demonstrators shouted out slogans attacking the president. And some, like this man, reportedly even warned the UN delegates there would probably be further bloodshed once they'd left the city. And he was not wrong. According to reports from anti-government demonstrators, once the UN delegation left Homs, Syrian troops opened fire on protesters, killing several and sparking panic in the streets, as illustrated in this footage, which is doing the rounds on sharing sites and is difficult to verify. And it would appear the armed forces adopted heavy measures to silence protesters and regain control. A number of videos which have been posted online by rebels appear to show tanks rolling through the streets of Homs. And here someone's filmed the damage left after Monday's violent confrontations between troops and protesters. This building's been completely devastated and these shops destroyed by military fire. Scenes of jubilation in Tripoli's Green Square, renamed Martyrs Square by rebels, as the Libyan capital falls under rebel control, marking the end of Gaddafi's regime. This footage, filmed in the early hours of Wednesday morning, shows rebel fighters celebrate the end of the Libyan dictator's 42-year rule, though his whereabouts remain unknown and pockets of pro-Gaddafi resistance remain at large. Libyans at home and abroad have been hailing the news. A great many videos have been uploaded onto sharing sites over the past few hours, showing exiled Libyans from all over the world joyfully celebrating the end of the Muammar Gaddafi dictatorship. As we can see here, peaceful rallies with a friendly atmosphere and often music playing have taken place in a number of cities across the planet, including Washington, America, Manchester, England, and Dublin in Ireland. Demonstrations were organised in a number of Arab countries, including Yemen, Qatar and Egypt, to celebrate Libya's freedom and demonstrate solidarity with the rebel fighters. Here we see demonstrators singing the national anthem in front of the Libyan embassy in Egypt. The rebel victory appears to have boosted opponents of Bashar al-Assad in Syria. As we can see in this amateur video footage, hundreds of citizens took to the streets chanting, "Bashar, you are next." And whilst the people of Libya celebrate, NATO is urging the last remaining loyalist troops, and in particular the mercenaries working for them, to put down their weapons. The organisation is also reportedly circulating these fake notes, carrying the warning that they will use force if the non-Libyan fighters do not leave the country immediately. As part of their online marketing campaign, a tape manufacturing company decided to recreate a scene from the science fiction film Tron using rolls of coloured sticky tape. The clip is sure to be a hit with fans of the film, which came to our screens for the first time in 1982.
Jay, I told you to clean the garage, not play with duct tape.
Ah! Yes!